Let's do the rogue so we can hear PJ's little quip about the bar tab. Cool. I don't know. I don't know. Like, it doesn't, like, it feels incomplete. Alright, what do you got to say? Your party's gotten smaller. Hey, where's your rogue? He still always on his bar tab. Ellipses. Oh, another thing I need to fix is I need to make it so that the party followers turn back on when I leave. But look, it's different now. There's no... Look, he's the rogue. She's gone, the rogue. We talk to these guys. They give us some deep insight into their backstory. Hey, where's your rogue? Still knows on his bar tab. Yeah. Oh, sorry guys, that's it for tonight. We go into the inn. Welcome to my inn. You look like you've had a rough day. Your stay is on me. Not ready yet. Okay, let me know when you are. And so we could go and again talk to our party members before they go to bed. So when we sleep here, it will teleport us back to the normal inn, which will then connect us back to all the normal daytime maps. So now it's daytime. We can interact with our NPCs again. We've got Horse Knight over here. Oh. You see Moonwalk just then? Bada bing bada boom. Hey, it's me, Phil from Alec Games. We're here again, streaming some delicious RPGMaker goodness. I am so keen. Seriously, it's getting to the point of obsession. Like because one thing, like, I get excited about making the game, but also with this story that no one's going to know about. Hopefully, I can keep it a secret until the game is released. Which I don't know how I'll do that because I feel like I'll want to show off not the story, but like, you know, the things that I will do with the story. Probably want to see that be made, right, to help with your own game. I'm at the point where I'm like, I've been trying to look at videos and reviews and things of like older JRPGs and those sorts of things, see what people say about those games, that, you know, like what makes them so good. So I've been looking up like written review, because I tried to look up like video reviews of like the old Final Fantasy games, but I find a lot of them are just more like nostalgic, looking back, not really dissecting like, hey, what makes this a good JRPG? I know the feeling being super motivated to game dev for weeks long. Yeah, I'm definitely in that honeymoon phase. And this is good, right? This is good for the game dev journey to see this, you know, because even though this is going to be simple, like, I still want to make it pretty good. Tell us what the old Final Fantasies did right. Well, this was the thing. Well, I really only got as far as like so far because my time is limited. Of just like getting into the first Final Fantasy. And I started watching a video about Dragon Quest II as well. And, you know, it was talking about how from the first Dragon Quest, you only had one character, right? And that was because of, you know, hardware limitations and what they were trying to do at the time. And then for the sequel, they knew they wanted to step that up. And so they, you know, made it so you could have 3 party members and actually see them on screen with you. So like a lot of the things we take for granted that are especially very easy to make and accessible in RPG Maker was like groundbreaking years and years and years ago. So it was interesting to learn about that kind of stuff. Like going on Reddit as well, looking at game design stuff and you know, the RPG Maker Reddits and that kind of thing, people talking about their games. But also, like, it's gotten to the point where like I want this story, because the idea that I have for the story I feel like is really cool, but I really want, yeah, I want the story to be good. I want it to come across well. And I realized that I was looking up the wrong stuff. I was trying to find stuff about writing a good story in game dev logs and things like that, when really I should be looking up blogs about writing novels and things like that, because they're the ones, they know how to write good stories. Really, game dev, especially solo game dev, if you're really wanting to cover everything and do it well, you're learning multiple different things. Also, I believe DQ1 had no save files, and instead you'd get given a code that you could type in later, which would restore your progress and stats. Yeah, which is insane, right? Like having to write down like this entire password and making the game so small that you could have every variable linked to, you know, a grid of 40, 50 characters. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. I'm getting really excited. Also because with this, and like I'm getting scared too. This is a thing that's real about game dev and about life in general, really. When you're doing something that has meaning to you, you know, you get excited about it, but as well it can be scary because there's this chance of failure, there's this chance that things won't work out, there's you could run out of steam and not finish it, and that's kind of sad. And the games that I've previously made, like they've been for game jams, or my very first release game was one that I just made myself make in like a few weeks. The games that I've made before have always been short, and so I've had excuses to be like, well, it wasn't polished and it wasn't as much as good as I wanted it to be, because I didn't have the time, and you know, and because of these restrictions. Whereas, you know, this game, this stream, this whole idea, while I am still putting limits on myself and saying to myself, oh, Phil, this isn't the epic game that you've always wanted to make. This is just a simple game to help people learn more. I'm getting very excited. I want to keep that energy going. And I think a big part of that is the accountability that I have to you guys, with this stream. So I think that's going to help push me to make this game. But it's scary, you know, you have all these ideas and you want to see them come out, and I guess what I'm scared of is like they've been in my head, but when I actually put them down, are they going to be as good? Are they going to am I going to be able to execute them the way that I want to? But the only way we can find out is if we do it. So let's I should let's stop ranting. Let's actually trailer, you missed it, my man. We have put you in the game. You're in the game now. We made your NPC. I was like, let's that's you. There's TJ. We haven't fully fleshed you out yet because I wanted to wait until you yeah, I don't know. You were in the stream and then you left. Oh, it was the Saturday stream. I think it was Saturday. It was Friday. It was the Friday morning stream where you had just woken up, or but it was like 4 p.m. or something. Bald, 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 bald. SpongeBob, anyone? Um. So yeah, look, let's have a look at your character, because I kept asking for your input and I was speaking to no one, and then I was like, well, guess we're gonna do it without you. NPC, there's TJ. So here is your character trailer. This is you. We gave you a scar because you've been through some stuff. We gave you your beard. You wear glasses, right? I was like, let's give him some glasses. But we made you like this huge, jolly kind of fellow. I mean, I can't make you tall. I could do that later, um, but yeah, we got the bald part in. We got the beard. Um, we're kind of limited on like the kind of clothes I could give you, but these kind of look like town guard kind of vibes. And yeah, so this is you. And so far, well, oh yeah, I had to go to work. That pretty much looks like me, right? And you know, you were saying he calls everyone small, so he greets you just by saying, "Hello, little one." I haven't given him any other dialogue yet because I was like waiting for you. My Twitch page has a picture of me. True. Well, I was going by your description that you gave because I didn't know if you actually wanted it to look like you. I just figured from the description you were like you wanted something similar, but not a one to one. But yeah, you're in the game, so let's do what we do. Oh, by the way, guys, I have added some new channel point redemption goodies. So there's now a where is it? there's now a shack. You can get a shack. There's only one available though, but it's a shack that will be on the world map. You're in the game. Yeah, so whoever gets to the 15,000 first and wants the shack, you can have a special exclusive place. Also with the shack, you'll give the player a special item. I don't know what that item is yet, but yeah, we also added you can make it for just 2,000 for the low price of just 2,000 points. You can make it so your NPC gives, you know, so you'll the player will talk to you and you'll say your line, but then you'll also give the player an item. So if you want your NPC to be helpful, redeem that one. Also, some cheapies that are just things you can do to interact with the stream a little more. There's a save your game please for just 1 channel point. So just, you know, we had that scare the other day where the RPG Maker just crashed. Luckily, I do save my game, but if you want to remind me to save my game, use that. If you really want to remind me violently, save your game. Save your game! 5 points. And at the end of the stream, if you can help me out, remind me to back up my game because I haven't been doing that. So yeah. So bold. So yeah, so there's some new channel point stuff. So I know you guys are hoarding and saving, but it would be cool if you could test one of those out. Can't wait to see the Cocodea boss. I'm gonna make him die in 1 hit. He's gonna be like really scary, but then he just goes. He's gonna be a joke boss. Cool. Let's have a look at what we've been making. A little recap. Recapping yo butt. You're gonna make him brown and have a ring light. Simple RPG. Yep. So we've got a text scroll. We've got our tutorial area where we get some instructions on how to play. Talk to the sailor. Talk to the sailor. We've got our Hubtown area. Also, Coco, I forgot to mention as well that I thought it was saying more about jarring, your jarring game. That the fact that you made that in 9 days is just like really impressive. It's top notch. We've got buildings that we can't go in yet because we've got to talk to the king. No worries, bro. Hail adventurer, what brings you to the land of the Crust? I seek the great treasure of the Sky Temple. I cannot give you my blessing if you are traveling alone. It was very jarring. I will come back when I have a full party. You can always find adventures at the bar. So that's our next plot point, is we need to go to the bar. I mean, we can go to the shops now if we want, but we have no money. There's no point. We head over here to the bar. Oh, and look, who's that? It's TJ. Hello, little one. British for some reason. We've got our party that we need together. So I feel like I'm gonna want to change this. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna want to change this because right now you talk to each of them individually, but I want to make it that, you know, you try to interact with some of them, and they'll just kind of ignore you, and it's not until you talk to just the cleric that like you'll get into a conversation with him, and like the other two will kind of overhear you and be like, hey, you're trying to get the sky temple we want to join. And it's also going to give me a chance to add a little character to these characters, because you know the way that they ignore you sort of gives a little hint into their characters. So we've got our full party. We can leave. Oh, let's say hi to TJ once more. There's TJ. Hi TJ. I got to figure out his subquest as well. You said, you know, he's investigating a robbery or something. We got to work on that at some point. Yeah, so we go back to the king. And he says, oh, you're broke. Here's 5,000 gold. And we get the earth gem. So there's 3 elemental temples, and we have to beat them in order. And the earth temple is the first one. We get some money, so we can buy some equipment. Let's go to the funky weapon shop. Buy everyone a weapon. Everybody's equipped. Back out onto the world map. Heading to the Earth Temple. Here we are. Oh, so we're already. I want to make some quick changes to this cutscene. But so, how does this work? You're not very bright, are you? Just hold the gem up to the door. You hold the gem towards the door. I've heard this song too many times from Happy Games. I can't unhear it. Yeah, it's nearly there. Right then. And then we're in the Earth Temple. So that's what we've made so far. This cutscene is sick. Thanks, brother. But it could be sicker. It could be terminally ill. And that's what we're going to do. So let's... But what we should be doing, what we're trying to do this stream and over the next couple of streams, is I'm actually trying to speed run just laying out the path of the main quest. So we're not getting into like making nice maps, even though you can see here I've fiddled around a little bit just for fun. But what I really want to do is just, yeah, cut a path out, make the map placeholder maps that we need to, so you can get through the main game, just so I can see that what I want to do makes sense, which is the unique mechanic or gimmick of this game is that as you go through each temple, you actually have to give up one of your party members. So you know you'll have 4, you'll go down to 3 to 2 to 1, and you know, so with that the challenge of the combat will change, because it's up to you which party members you get rid of. So if you get rid of your cleric first, then you don't have a healer for the rest of the game. And you know, obviously there'll be ways around it. You just need to buy more healing items, that kind of thing. But you know, it'll change your playthrough. But it's also going to affect the story, because as you progress through the game, after you beat each temple, it'll turn to nighttime. So we're gonna look at that and how to make that happen. And you'll go back to the hub town. You know, everything will be closed except for the inn and the bar. And when you go to the inn, like they'll say, oh, I want to drink first. So you'll know that you need to go to the bar. And then when you go to the bar, you'll have this chance to talk with your party, the party members that you have left. And as you do that, you'll progress each of their stories. You'll learn more about them if you choose to. You don't have to talk to them. If you just want to play through the game, you can ignore that whole part and just go to the bar, leave, go to the inn, start the next day, and start the next temple. But what I'm hoping is that, yeah, you'll have these interactions with your party members, you'll get to know them a little more, but this will encourage multiple playthroughs uh, to fully learn about each of your party members and what their story is. You would have to play the game multiple times to 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 choose different party member configurations, blah 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 blah, to get the full reveal. So that's what I'm excited about with the story, is that I'm fleshing out and figuring out the stories of each of these characters and why they want this treasure. And I think it's kind of interesting. Hopefully you will too. So anyway, well, let's fix up this cutscene. So at the moment, there were some things that are missing, right? One thing is I want another uh, balloon. Balloon icons, I like them. I think they're an extra way to give your characters character, have them express themselves in an extra way, add an extra layer. Because you're kind of limited, right? You've got these flat sprites. You know, you can't see their faces emoting, that kind of thing, except maybe through text boxes. But in terms of them on the screen and not in a text box, yeah, you kind of have to use more to say more. So this balloon icon, we're gonna drop it here. No, before he turns to the party, he's gonna have ellipses. We love ellipses. So where's that? Silence. So silence is dot dot dot. So if you want a dot 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 to appear, do that. So dot dot dot's gonna appear. He's gonna turn around. Thank you, Coco. Demonstration. He's gonna turn around. He's gonna go. So is it supposed to? He gets cut off. Shake. We need a sound effect, brother. We need a sound effect. We need a big boom. Because I made a sound effect for the door opening, but I need like a that like startles um our knight. So ooh, thunder. Oh right, the pitch is very low. I think TJ needs to expand his security company and become the bouncer outside all the dungeons. That'd be fun. He's just there all the time. He's just like, all right, I'll let you in. Um, what do we want? I need where's our Earth sound effects. Hmm. Oh, that's a good one for the door opening. Louder? Lower? Yeah. Okay. Let's try that. Uh and then look, let's add another balloon to just before he says all right then. Some sweat. Sweat drop down his brow. All these females crawl. All right then. Cool. So let's see that in action, eh? Let's see what we got. Which is this one? Yeah. How does this work? You're not very bright. Just hold the gem to the door. You hold the gem to the door. Yeah. I think that works. Guys, this cutscene might not even be in the final game. But it will. It will. We spent too much time on it. So yeah, that was us opening the door to the temple. I feel better about that. Who knows? I might think about it more and might come up with another way to tweak it. But I think that was fine. Maybe this pause was a little too long. Maybe we'll just make it 2 seconds. So just remembering, guys, with these wait duration things, it's done in frames. 60 frames is equal to 1 second. So 120 frames is 2 seconds, so on and so forth. It was originally 180 frames, so it was 3 seconds. There's a little pause. I want there to be a slight pause before the sound, maybe? Maybe like just half a second? Or is it? Yeah. Yeah? 30 seconds? Ooh. Anyway. Cool. We don't need to watch that again. Um. Cool. All right. So we've got the temple ground floor. So with each of the temples, again, to keep things simple, and this is something I was thinking about, right? So with, we don't have to worry about this yet, but to keep things simple, where we don't have enemies on screen, right? We have the classic uh, JRPG. You walk around, and after a certain number of steps, a random encounter happens. So with that, you don't need to make your dungeons and your spaces like big, unless you know that's the idea that you want to get across, that this is like a very spacious space that you're in. But you know, we can have tighter corridors, that kind of thing, because we're not worried about trying to squeeze in other enemy sprites on the map, right? So I've got to think about that when it comes to actually designing the actual dungeons, which means too that we don't need to make them as long. We don't, you know, you don't, the player won't have, doesn't have to spend so long walking around to get from point A to B. You know, because that's like, it's fun to explore, but you also don't want to be trapped in like a huge maze where, you know, you got to backtrack, and because of the encounter rate, you're just stopped. You know, and I mean, I can be in control of it, but you don't want to walk every 5-6 steps, or you know, 30 steps, and find that you're in another battle. Um, you know, we want this experience to feel light, not too grindy, but you know, you can, if you want to grind, you can grind. Um, but yeah, we don't want our dungeons to feel like a slog. We want you to be able to pass through them, because the Earth Temple is only going to be is, you know, meant, you know, recommended age 1 through 3. It's recommended level 1 to 3. I want you to start here at level 1, and by the time you finish the temple, you should be level 3. Harlequin, hello. Hello, hello. Good to see you, my friend. Um, yeah, so, you know, we've got to think about all of that when we're actually designing the dungeon properly. So that being said, I only want there to be, and, you know, drawing inspiration from the sprite itself, right? The tower sprites here, I mean, technically it looks like there's lots of floors, but like there's 3 sections, right? There's this bottom section, middle section, top section. Oh my god. Coco, you make everybody feel like a celebrity. That's so nice of you. So keeping that in mind, I want these dungeon maps to be a ground floor, a first floor, and a second floor. And the second floor will also have the boss room in it. Yeah. So let's make another map. So do I want to nest it? I think I will. I'm gonna nest. Ooh, we're gonna save ourselves some time. Look at this. We're gonna copy and paste our map, and we're gonna change it to first floor. First floor. Okay. And we'll save first floor. We want to transfer from level 1 or to 1F. We'll make it go there. Okay. And this we will change to ground floor. And make that go there. Okay. Coolies. And I will change the map just slightly so that we can tell that we're on the second floor. Get rid of these pillars. And there we go. Wow, so different. And then we'll copy and paste. And this will be our second floor. Second floor. But we'll make it longer. So that we can incorporate the boss room. Okay. So so now we want to put this into second floor. And that will take us to, is that going to be down here? Okay. And yeah, so we're gonna, let's change, just grab that, boom, slap that bad boy down. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Can we make it that it's a staircase going up? Yes. We'll also move this down here and make it to first floor and make that go down there. Okay, now we need floor tiles. Oops, that's all right. Sometimes you'll have to right click multiple times. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Wow. So fancy. So cool. Okay. Okay. Change that. Oh, cool. Why don't I like that? That needs to do that. Right? That wall needs to be higher. So Earth Dungeon like. And you've been in a lot of Earth Dungeons, Trailer, haven't you? You're that guy that's always hanging around the Earth Dungeons. There, does that make more sense? Maybe that. It's only one step up. Who cares? This is placeholder. What am I doing? All right. So we've got our cool. Let's just make sure all of that works. Okay, we're gonna go through this cutscene. Blah blah blah. Cool. All right, let's leave. Let me go back in. Yeah. Cool. So that works. Second, first level. Second level. And the boss room. Coolies. Coolies. What if we? No, that's not gonna work. Okay. So cool. Now we want. Actually, this is a boss room. Let's make this look nicer. What if the boss room was like this? Because it's earthy and bing, bang, boom, bomb, bing, bang. Who's our boss sprite gonna be? Oops, that's off center. Physical caves where I'm from. Bears are the final boss. Girthy? What? Why are you saying girthy? What did I say? What is that in response to? Girthy? Yippee, I added custom animated dialogue boxes. Nice. Are you working on your game? Are you working on contract? Um, hmm. Okay. Yes, working on contract. Beautiful. Love it. Let's put our Earth Temple boss. Oh, I forget. We need to have a mini boss on the first floor, I guess, and then the second floor. Maybe we won't do a mini boss. Kind of should though. But, but maybe the mini boss is optional. You have to go out of your way to find it. Like it's not blocking your path or anything. It's just kind of off to the side. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So we got our boss. Who's our boss gonna be? We got. Where's our big monsters? Big monster. Cool. Big bird. Big bird. Big bird. We got a dragon. I mean, dragon seems appropriate for my temple. Then we've got a god, a demon, and Man-made horror beyond our comprehension. Well, I guess, what do we... Okay, so I want the dragon. I don't want the dragon for the Sky Temple, though. No. So dragon's going to be for the Fire Temple. What's the Water Temple? Water Temple. I don't really have, like, a water monster. Maybe it's just a slime. That's right. Let's do the bird. Where's the bird? We'll do the bird as the Earth Temple boss for now. This is just going to be a placeholder. We'll do stepping. And you got to walk up and actually interact to activate the boss fight. Is there an image for them? No, it's for those guys. Okay, so we don't need a text box. Maybe we just a sound effect. There's a monster. Bro. Cool. And then we'll play just put no, let's just put a text box in. Dim middle. You fight the boss and win. And so we want to switch. We want to switch to activate. And that switch will be Earth boss defeated. Okay. So we're turning this on. We will make a new event page where when that switch is on, the thingamabob disappears, the event disappears. Or in its place, um, um, in its place, we will have, where is it? Crystal. An earth looking crystal. And it will be stepping. But we want direction fix. Right? Because if we don't direction fix, if you approach the crystal from a different side, it will change the animation. So, cool. So we've got the crystal. And it's floating in the air. Right, we're not concerned with cutscenes right now. I have to keep telling myself this. We're getting the bare bones down. So we approach the boss, we fight the boss and win. That turns on this switch, which turns the boss into this crystal. And upon triggering the crystal, so I should make it that when you enter the boss room, like you can't leave, right? Um, mm, Blocked? Why am I saying that? What do we want to do? What do we want to put there? Big green rock blocking our way. That doesn't seem like a very like this door is blocking your way though. We want like a. Do we want a door? It kind of looks stupid. I feel. What I should do is I should actually make these two separate rooms. So let's copy and paste and Earth Temple boss. And I mean it's technically on the second floor. So let's grab this and stick it here. Oops. Here. All right. Yep. Let's grab this, stick it there, and we'll delete that. Don't worry, it's over here. Don't stress. Let's change this back to 13. Oops. No, it's too. No. It's annoying. It's alright. We just copy this. Copy this. Cool. And copy this. We'll cut it. Paste it. And we will change that to that. And we will make it a little special. Ooh, it's a door. And then we will make this. Where's our entry door? Grab that and paste it there. But we'll delete that. And how does this work? Delete that. And get rid of that. And yeah, it's fine. Cool. So we've got a door. Oh, right. I need to make it lead to the right place. So it's going to lead to here in the boss room. And we're going to change that to that. And we're going to. Is that right? Yeah, 17 by 13. Right? Yeah. Okay. Seal that off. You're trapped in the room. Boss room. Okay. Oops. Save. Cool. So what are we doing? We're okay, so now you'll get dropped in the boss room, but you won't be able to leave. So maybe we have a little I think the temple guardian is through here. Who says that? A know-it-all witch. I think the temple guardian is through here. Drop that down. Oops. I'll have the rogue pipe up and say, make sure you're ready. Then we'll have a choice. We'll have it show text. Enter the door. Yeah, enter the door and no, not another text. We want a choice. So where is it? Show choices. Yes, no. We don't need to change any of this because that's what we want. If yes, do that. And if no, we will make the player step backwards. Player, set to player, step backwards. There's that. And step backwards. And that will be fine. Okay, cool. So we've got that. So that way, you know, the player doesn't enter willy-nilly, because once they enter, they can't leave. They have to fight the boss, so they can make sure they save beforehand. So that way, if they try to fight the boss and they get stuck on it, which they shouldn't, because it's going to be like a level 3 enemy, they will they can keep grinding in the temple. So okay, all right. So we approach the boss, we beat the boss. That activates our Earth boss defeated switch. Earth boss defeated switch on turns him into a crystal. When we approach the crystal, when do you think you'll finish? Oh, sorry, I've missed some chats. They will fight and they will die. Yeah. Hello, mate. Did you play Crypt Robbery the full game? No, I haven't yet. I have not. Yeah, I'm keen to check it out at some point. When do you think you'll finish the game? That's the thing. I don't know. Well, I feel like once I get this skeleton done, I would have a better idea. Because then I'll know, okay, I need, these are the maps that I have to make. I have 50 maps or whatever it's going to be. And then, it'll just be about cutscenes, dialogue. I don't know. Could I finish it this year? Next week's November already. I mean, if because I'm only going to be working on this when I stream. Although that's not true. I think I'm going to be working on it in the background, adding the story in and stuff. Well, I don't know what to do, whether I, complete the game on stream and then just don't stream for ages while I work on it in the background until it's finished, and then start streaming again so I can be like, all right, guys, let's set up an itch page and do that stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I think if you don't have anything to teach in the series, just pump out content, dialogue, enemies offline. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I kind of thought, well, I don't know if people would like to watch me do that stuff. But again, like the streaming it is accountability for me, and like I might feel less likely to do the boring stuff if I'm just doing it by myself. Except for like the dialogue and stuff like that I could do offline. But then I also don't have a lot of offline time. really, because it's all jam packed. My days. I mean, you could always go live, work on this game without treating it as a simple RPG series. Oh, true. True. Yeah, that's a fair point. I need to focus on what's actually a tutorial and what's not. Well, I was thinking too is that I've been putting out the videos, but with like minimal editing, right? Like just to like cut out some of the intro stuff. Um, but I kind of want to go back and do like, you know, a simple RPG Kai where I properly edit the the videos so that it just focuses on the stuff. Like it cuts out all of like what I'm doing right now, like talking to you, you know, and just focuses on the actual tutorial stuff and like slowly re-releasing the series with that in mind. I don't know. Just play it by ear, eh? Never done this before. Cool. So we got the crystal, and we want the crystal to say, maybe we'll do dim, but we'll do top, right? Because at the moment, when I have dim showing up in the middle, that's like narration. But we want, you know, not a god. Well, ooh, is it a god? Who knows? But someone speaking to us, telling us that in order to unlock the treasure, the path to the treasure, um, you have to leave a party member behind. I felt talking to us was the best part. Uh, uh, no, it is. It is. I just don't know that everybody else enjoys it as much as I do. Um, right. So we've got the voice saying to us, you seek to claim the. I've been calling it the Sky Treasure at the moment, which is not a name that I like for it, but whatever. It's our placeholder. You seek to claim the Sky Treasure, and we'll have yes. He's a bit nervous about it. There's a bunch of lurkers, so clearly there are people enjoying it. All right, and thank you, lurkers. I appreciate your presence. It's much appreciated. Keep on lurking. I feel like you gotta say nothing. What was that noise? What happened? Anyway. So what are we saying? You seek to claim Sky Treasure, yes. The trials of the Sky Temple are thus. At each temple, you must. See, I don't want to say sacrifice because it gives the impression that your party members dying, but they're not. You're going to get your party members back when you reach the Sky Temple. Like they're going to be returned to you. Discord Halloween sounds. We appreciate the lurkers. We do. Okay, the trials of the Sky Temple are thus. At each temple, you must leave behind a companion. Then shall the way be opened. Who will offer themselves to the Earth Temple? And then we want a choice. So this is right. This is what I've been wanting to get to, is this mechanic of leaving a party member behind, and the switches that it will activate so that we can keep track of who's in the party and who isn't, and how that will affect outcomes. And this is what I wanted to get to, because in my head I'm like, okay, I think this is how it will be done, but I need to actually put it into practice. And already I feel like I'm realizing that there's going to be some complications if I don't figure out a simpler way to do it. So we want choices. We want, so we're just going to say cleric, rogue, mage. So you can't give up the knight. It's your other party members. Or and there won't be a cancel. You have to choose. Do I make it? Do I make it maybe that? Look, as real people too. uh, I'm wondering if I change it so that your party members. Who is that? Save your game, please. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see that works. That's cool. Cool. All right, let's just do that for now. We'll fix this up in a second. Okay, let's save. Let us save. So maybe I don't need to implement this yet. This is something I can implement later. But I potentially want to make it that after you defeat the boss, no, let's do it. Let's do it, because again, this is something that we can learn, right? This is some cutscene stuff. This is some change, some things around. So we want it that the boss gets defeated. So we fight the boss and win. We're gonna make it the screen fade out. So this is, yeah, so the fade out screen, you need to get used to using these guys, because they help you hide a lot of stuff that you want to do in the background. So we're fading out the screen. So we fought the boss and won. Fade out the screen. That switch is going to activate, so it'll change to the crystal. So when we fade the screen back, the crystal's going to be there. But what I want is to make it so that the party is no longer following me, but it's just me by myself, the knight, and the party is, you know, standing around the room. And the reason for that is when we're offered this choice, so we're going to change this actually. We are going to have a cancel, and we're going to say, I'm not ready. Right? So if you choose, you know, you've got this choice presented to you, and then you're like, oh, I don't know yet. And you can actually talk to your party members, and they'll kind of be like, you know, I think I should go blah 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 blah, or like, this is a bad idea, or, you know, I don't know how I want to do it, whether they're all giving sort of their reasons that you should keep them, or whether they're all giving you reasons that they should be the one to go, or if they're just kind of saying this is weird. Why do we have to do this? But all right, so we're gonna have the screen fade out. The crystal's gonna change, but I want to change. So first thing I want to do is change player followers and turn that off. So what that means is, you could see them following me around on the map before. That's going to turn off. So it's just going to be me, the knight, by myself. Then I want, so what we can do here is let's grab our, let's go to the bar. We'll grab our party members from there, and we will. So yeah, always try to find ways to just copy and paste things that you've used before. Save yourself some trouble, right? So, um, so yeah, so they're both standing there, and cleric standing down here. So yeah, so you'll be by yourself, and then these guys will be standing around. So the mage can say, so we're gonna make it so that when the Earth boss defeated switches on, see, and switches can be used across multiple events, right? It's really handy. No self-sacrificing here unless someone is paying for bots. Pay for bots? I wouldn't even know how to do that. Plus, why would I only buy like 3 bots? Well, it's probably because it's all I can afford. Cool. And who do you think could stay? All right. And so she's like, I'm pretty tired. I wouldn't mind hanging out here. Right. So she's gonna say that. Earthboss King defeated. So what was the thing we were saying before? What did he say? Who do you think should stay? Will you stay? Will you wear wigs? Will you stay? Things will only get harder from here, especially I'm not around. Right. So I'm gonna want to make this more nuanced, right? Like something that says a little bit more about their character, revealing maybe a little bit of a window into their story. And like that. Earth was defeated. What do you think? I mean, I am the healer, but someone has to stay. All right. So did we get rid of that? Cool. Let's test that. Let's just see how we're going so far. I should start again because we got poisoned and we don't want the we don't want the witch to die. Not the witch, the mage. Actually, I should just load previous save. This one. Yeah, so you can see they're following me right now, but when we turn player followers off, it's just going to be me by myself. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Run away! Oh. Ah, yeah, he's got poison. Guys. Oh. What is it? F5? Look, I should really... Okay, let's get back to the world map and let's delete that. Okay, no more battles. No more battles. Not yet. Okay. Yada 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 yada. Yada 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 yada. Okay. We rolling, lads. All right. Yeah. Cool. Let's save. Alright, we're traveling through the temple. We're battling our way to the top. Uh-oh. Okay, need to fix that. Teleported me somewhere that doesn't exist. So this one. Okay. Alright. Let's go. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna have a little dialogue box. Yep. I think the temple guardian is through here. Make sure you're ready. Into the door. No, we back up. Beautiful. Ooh, there's the boss. How spooky. Oh, look, he's got little baby birds. Oops, I forgot to direction fix. Killed his own game. By the way, who said to make the dialogue box? We didn't. I was just showing how you could change the color, and I didn't. And we just landed on that color. So, you tell me, Coco. You tell me what color you want the dialogue box to be. Oops, I forgot to. Okay, so already there's problems, right? So first off, we need to direction fix because right now talking to the bird makes it face down, which is why it changed to the death sprite. So, and again, on the RPG Maker forums, I think someone has made like fully 4-directional sprites for these monsters. I strongly advise changing it now. I've been holding back for weeks. You've just been struggling in silence. It actually does annoy me every time I see it as well, to be fair. It's a really bad color. What if we let's just go black. Yeah. Can't go wrong there. Maybe white? Yellow. Red. Dark red. What about that? Let's see what that does. Kind of gives it a different vibe. Cool. So, right. So we faded out, but I forgot to fade back in. So let's oops, don't copy and paste. We just got a fade in screen. So yeah, so when you fade out, you can put as much stuff happening between your fade out and your fade in as you want. So that way you can set your scene up, do whatever you need to do, move your characters around, yada yada. But you make sure to fade back in, otherwise you will be stuck on a black screen forever, and the world will move on without you. Okay, so let's go inside. There, is that better, Coco? It can be any color, but it has to be dark. Yeah, true. It's blazing on the eyes. You fight the boss and win. And now it's a crystal. So we've got the party members. So the thing... Okay, so I need to actually make it that the crystal speaks first before... Because it doesn't make sense that I start talking to the party members and go, hey, you're going to stay, when we haven't even been told what we're supposed to do. I can choose any option at the moment because we haven't filled out the options. So my eyes have been healed. Yeah, you don't have to wear glasses anymore, Coco. So we want to make it that this dialogue happens automatically. So to do that, we're gonna have to auto run, right? We're gonna we don't have to do that. We can let's keep it that, and let's grab this and chuck it here, right? And then we'll change this because yeah, when we talk to the crystal again, he won't go through that dialogue. He'll just say, who will offer themselves to the Earth Temple, and then those choices. So cool. Let's try that again. Let's just see how that looks. I don't like the red. Nice. Gives it a bougie feel. Okay, you seek to claim the sky treasure. Yes. Oh, oops. Gotta fix that. He's not a god. Why is he talking up there? The trials of the Sky Temple are thus. At each temple you must leave behind a companion. Then shall the way be open. Who will offer themselves to the Earth Temple? And I'm going to make it so that the choice is centered, because that doesn't look very good. I don't like that, the way that was. So we have that dialogue. We decide to say no. And we can talk to the party. Who do you think should stay? I'm pretty tired. I wouldn't mind hanging out here. Will you stay? Things will only get harder from here, especially if I'm not around. What do you think? I mean, I am the healer, but someone has to stay. So we talk to them. We get a bit of insight on it. From what is being said, we kind of think maybe the mage should stay. You know, the mage is kind of weak anyway, and you know, spells aren't that useful, right? Wrong. The mage is probably the most OP character in the game. You gotta make a choice. So, what's gonna happen when we make that choice? Ooh, so maybe. Do I want to give the player the choice right away, or do I want to suggest to them that they should talk to the party first? Fireball. Maybe maybe I need to change this. The window down the bottom. In each temple you must leave behind a companion, then shall the way be opened. And then he's gonna say I should talk to the others first. talk to the others. And then we can talk to the crystal and say who will offer themselves to the Earth Temple. And we got the choices. So, what happens when we choose cleric? So the thing here is that depending on who you choose, they're actually going to be the ones offering themselves up. It's not going to be, oh, you think you're making the choice, but it's actually that party member volunteering themselves. So it's, yeah. And again, the way they do that will say a bit more about their character as well. I will go. Anyway, we won't get too much into that yet. So they'll have a little bit of dialogue. Then we need to. So this is going to be annoying because if the player approaches the what I want to do. Maybe okay. Let's so making your cutscenes. Yeah, you've got to think about the ways the player can approach things and where they could possibly be positioned when a cutscene starts. Because you might think, oh, they're here right now, standing in front of the crystal. So I will make all of their movements within the cutscene based off of that position. But they can also approach the event from the right or the left or from behind. And so all the movement route that you've set will be completely thrown off, which is kind of annoying because you like, I don't want to always use like fade outs and things because it feels like uh yeah, you're trying to hide things rather than making it happen on screen. I don't know. It's a weird way to feel about it, but it's what we're going to do here. So we're going to fade out the screen. We're going to move the player. So how can we do this? Is there one where it's like set? No. So we might just we can just use transfer player, and we're gonna move them off to the side, right? Excuse me. And we want them to be facing up. The fade out method is the easy way out. I prefer either considering all directions or using Yanfly's move route core to have stuff move to coordinates instead. That way the direction won't matter. I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm sorry, but I'll be listening to ing. Listening to ing. That's okay, bro. You can just say I'm boring. That's fine. I understand. It's all good. But no, you're tired, man. What is it? 9 o'clock for you right now? It's your bedtime. Yeah, so we're gonna move. Yeah, so the fade out method, yeah, it is the easy way out, and that's why I'm saying I don't particularly like it either. But again, for simplicity's sake, right now we're gonna use it. So we're gonna fade out. We're gonna transfer the player to move them out of the way because We don't want the player in the way because we're going to have the cleric walk up to the crystal, touch it, and essentially be absorbed into the crystal. So where they will be held until it's time for them to go. 3 a.m. for me, another 4 hours of work to go. Gosh dang, brother. Them night shifts. Yeah, so we're fading out. We're transferring the player. We will fade back in. Now, I could make this easier for myself, and it'll be a bit janky, because if you say no, you kind of... Anyway, we're going to make it that when you... So I don't have to put this into every single one. Not that it's that difficult to just copy and paste it, but just for some neatness, so it's not clogging up the whole thing. So we're going to move ourselves out of the way, and then we're going to be asked the question. So the cleric says, I will go. We're going to move. So again, this is why it's important to name your events. We want to move the cleric. So they're going to walk up to the crystal. So that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And yep, that's going to happen. 1, 2, 3. We're going to get that flash to play again. That flash animation. Show animation. Where's flash? Flash. And we want it to play on the Earth Temple boss, which is now a crystal. And we'll do wait for completion. And then we're going to make the cleric fade away. So we're going to delete this previous one here. We're going to change the opacity. We'll just drop it at 50 at a time, so it doesn't take too long. We'll put a little weight of like 5 frames. And we'll drop that by 50 every time. Oops. Till that hits 0. So they'll become more and more transparent until they disappear. And then we will turn... Well, no, it doesn't matter because this full cutscene is going to play out. So yeah, so we're not going to return... we're not going to return... control to the player. Yeah, when control comes back to the player, they'll be plonked outside back on the world map. Or maybe we'll transport them straight back to the hub town. That might be better. We'll see how we feel. So yeah, so they're gonna fade away, and then we'll have the thing say your offering is sufficient. Your offering is sufficient. Your companion will greet you at the Sky Temple. No, I don't like that. Your offering is sufficient because I wanted to tell you that you'll get them back, right? That when you reach the Sky Temple, they'll be there waiting for you. Succeed in passing the trials of the other temples, and your companion will return to you at the Sky Temple. I don't know, it's janky, but it's just what we need for now to know what's happening. Uh, take this gem. Take this water gem. And then we'll go middle. Received the water gem. And we'll make it give us the item. Water gem increased by 1. Okay. Oh, we have to remove the cleric from the party. So change party member. Cleric remove. Okay. So the cleric's going to be removed. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, it doesn't matter where I place this. I could put it right at the start of the choice. But yeah, again, it's up to you how you feel. If you're just like, well, logically, when they've actually disappeared, that's when they're removed from your party, even though it makes no difference. If that works for your logical brain, do what you got to do. So your offering is sufficient. Succeed in passing the trials of the other temples, and your companion will return to you at the Sky Temple. Take this water gem. You receive the water gem, and then it's gonna boot us to the. So we want the player followers back. Oh, yeah, player followers back. Oh wait, we'll so we need to hide things. So we'll fade out. Turn the player followers back on. I would laugh if the cleric chose to stay behind, but then you find them back at the bar having a drink. Yeah. Hey, I thought you. It's like, yeah. Turns out he only wanted me there for like 5 minutes, and then I was free to go. But you guys keep going on without me. So we want to change turn the player followers back on, because obviously if we turn that on before the screen fades out, then it's going to be weird seeing my party with me whilst also them standing around. And yeah, so okay, so we're turning them back on, then we're transferring back to the hub town. And transfer back to the hub town. And I want to be facing up when we go there. But what I also want to do is make the hub town look like it's nighttime. So we're going to look at screen tinting. So here on the second page, got this option tint screen, and there's some presets here. You've got normal, dark, sepia, I never know how to say that. Sepia tone, sunset, and night. So let's just pick night. Wait for completion, sure. We only need it to take 1 frame. I don't know the dangers of making stuff like this act only on 1 frame. I don't know if it can like bug out if things are more intensive. I don't know, because you don't give it enough time to process or something, but it literally just changes the screen to a nighttime color. 1 frame is all good. All right, cool. And you know, if you wanted, like if you use this tint screen while running as a parallel event while you're walking around to simulate day-night cycles, then you know, you can use that 60 seconds of frames, or you know, you make it 3 seconds and it will gradually change to the color that you've set. So that way, you know, you can more easily simulate that, you know, the sun setting or whatever. So, but we don't need that because we're hiding it behind everything. So yeah, so we're fading out. We're transporting to the hub town. We're making it dark because it's going to be night, and then we're fading the screen back in, and that will be enough. So let's just see what that looks like so far. You fight the boss and win. You seek to claim the Sky Treasure? Yes. The trials of the Sky Temple are thus, blah, 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 blah. I should talk to the others. Cool, so now we've got control back. We talk to everybody, they tell us what they want, and we go, you know what? I think the healer should go. Cool, so see, it faded to black. Oh, I forgot to change this. So we faded to black. I forgot to change this. No point me pointing at it. You can't see what I'm pointing at. I need to change this so it's in the middle and that it's dim, not this. So, who will offer themselves to the Earth Temple? We only have the cleric options. Let's choose that. I will go. Walks forward. Touches it. And look at that. It's like he got sucked into the crystal. Your offering is sufficient. Succeed in passing the trials of the other temples, and your companion will return to you at the Sky Temple. Take this water gem. Take the water gem. Now we're in the hub town. So we want... I might make a separate map. Also, this isn't that dark. This isn't dark enough. But yeah, so I want it so that it's nighttime. What would be cool is, which is again going to be like a plug-in thing where I could have light coming out of the windows, make it a more nighttime scene. And look, our parties, we've lost our party member. We don't have the cleric anymore. Big sad. Yo, TJ, what's up? Hello, little one. And then I want it so that we go to the bar. Also, we need to make it that this tent doesn't stay on. Needs nighttime music. Yeah, which is why I think I'm going to make like a separate map that it teleports you to for the nighttime events. Just because it'll make it easier as well, mapping wise. I won't have to make so many conditional events. We'll see how that makes sense. Although this is going to be annoying because I'm going to have to redo these maps. Actually, that's not going to be that big a deal. Anyway, so cool. That all worked. That was good. Right, and we got the water gem. Cool. So, all right. So I want to make it that, yeah, the only places you can go when it's this nighttime sequence is the inn, because you'll need to sleep to pass the daytime. And the bar. Yes, you can copy and paste maps. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we'll copy Hubtown and how do I want to do this? So I could make it that this map will just be an extension of the Earth Temple. Like I'll drop it down here. And then after each... is that what I want to do? After each temple, there'll be another copy of the nighttime town. Maybe, so that way it's easier for me to keep track of the events, because if I keep using the same map and have it come back multiple times with multiple events, yeah, this might be better working this way. So I might do it this way. So because it's nighttime, none of our NPCs are going to be out and about. And let's just do Hubtown night 1. We'll call it night 1 because it's the first night. And we'll still say Hubtown. Maybe we won't have music. We'll just have we'll have let's just try that for now. So we just have nighttime noises instead. No music. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of the talking rock. Actually, no, he should still be there, but he won't be interactable because he's a rock. He's sleeping, I guess. And again, so we wanted that you don't go into any of these we have a little sound effect play. I want like a jug jug, like you're trying the door. TJ has to be out dealing with the riffraff. Okay, yeah. TJ sticks around. He's a bouncer. Riffraff. Riffraff, street rat. I don't like that. What are we? That'll do. Cool. Just like we'll just do closed door, right? And we'll just copy and paste that. Oops. Around. I could make it. See, this is yeah. It's better that they say something. Maybe we have a guard here at night. Should just make all the guards in the game TJ. He's just gonna say the castle is off limits at night. He's blocking the way. All right. Get rid of the well. Sign can stay. And the inn. So we want it to say. So we'll. Do a left the bar switch. So only until we've gone into the bar and then left the bar. TJ has twin brothers like Officer Jenny. Just everywhere. It's like a different letter. I'm AJ, BJ, oh, CJ, DJ. There's 26 brothers. I actually have that as an idea for a side quest for my Cow Knight game, where there's 26 brothers scattered throughout the game, and they're like, you first meet Aaron, and you're like, oh, that's a normal name, Aaron, and then the next guy is called Baron, and then you're like, wait a second, and then Karen, and then Darren, and so on and so forth. BJ is unfortunate. Yeah. Yeah, just be glad you didn't name your channel Brailer Jury. That would have been a disaster. So yeah, what do we? Yeah, so we've got this switch that you can only enter the inn once you've left the bar, and yeah, so we'll need to make a copy of the inn. So we'll leave that for the second, but before that, he's gonna say. This is where, right, we can get interesting with the dialogue. We can. Oh, actually, why did I do that? Where we can have. I'm tired, but I also really need a drink. Right, and we're gonna put in our conditional branch. We're gonna say if Rogue is in the party, say this. We don't need to do an else. We just, and then we can do if Mage is in the party. They say They say, you know, I think, well, it's the mage, right? The mage talking. I think a drink would do me good. And then the cleric might be in the party. We need to talk about what's happened. Let's go to the bar. Okay. Yeah. So two of these three interactions will activate depending on which party member we got rid of. So I have to think, you know, again, I'll go back and rework this, but you know, you want this dialogue to be able to play off each other without it sounding like they've all just got one scripted thing to say, you know, like like it would be good if they kind of played off each other no matter which combination of the two you got. But that's for me to think about another time. So yeah, so we've got that. We've got the left the bar so that we can go into the bar. Do we make the inn just the inn? Or do we no, we make it different because I don't want it to soft lock. Because for the moment it costs 50 gold to use the inn. But we don't want, you know, because somehow if they have zero money and they can't sleep at individual rooms for beds. Yeah. This is just placeholder. It's just placeholder for now. But yeah, individual rooms would probably be a cool idea because I could make it that once you enter here for the night, even though you can talk at the bar, maybe there's another opportunity to talk here before going to bed. To talk with your party members, and so you could, and they've each got their own room, so that would be cool. Right, so yeah, so we'll change the inn. We'll get rid of that. Take that off. Um, um, the king. You look like you had a rough day. The stay is on me. Thank you. And I'm not ready yet. Okay, we get rid of is using the outside of this scenario. Uh, is using this outside of this scenario how the party would heal? Yeah, it's one of the ways. It's one of the ways you can heal. You know, aside from using items and stuff. Yeah, to get a full heal, get all your mana back, all that stuff. You just got to pay 50 gold. I might make it that the cost increases as you beat each temple. but we'll see. So, what are we doing? We've got coins. We don't want coins. We just want enjoy your rest, fade out screen, and that. So we just want that to play. When thank you. Enjoy your rest. He says I'm not ready yet. This says okay. Let me know when you are. We don't need self switch. Miss putting in that question. You didn't know where to put it in. Cool. So there's that. But we want it so that during the fade out, you actually teleported to the normal inn. Common problem, yeah. Okay, so we'll do in night 1. Okay. And then we need the bar. So we need this map. We'll put it there. Another guard? We want another guard? Maybe he doesn't say anything, he's just standing there. You can't actually interact with him, he's just blocking it off. That's fine. Don't need to interact. TJ's gonna be there. He's gonna say something a little different. We'll say your party has gotten smaller. Hey, you could have conditional dialogue. Could be annoying though. That's what I need to do. So I need to create a switch, another switch in here that says that we've given up the cleric. This could make things easier. Rogo's money on his bar tab. Yeah, that could be what he what he mentions if he's gone. He's just like, oh, good of him to duck off. So, what am I doing? I'm we're creating a switch that says cleric removed, maybe. So this could actually make things a lot easier. potentially dialogue wise. All right. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. This is. I don't know if this is actually how I should do this. We'll see. So cleric removed. So we can say for new if conditional branch if switch cleric removed is on. And you can say where's your healer? I liked that guy. Look, let's make multiple switches. Rogue removed. Mage removed. Okay. So then we go over here. If rogue removed, you say hey, where's your rogue? Still owes on his bar tab. And then if the mage is removed, it just says where's the sleepy one? Because that's gonna be the one of the mage's quirks is that like they're always just kind of dozing off. They're always tired. I just thought it'd be funny. Where's your healer? I like that guy. Hey, where's your rogue? He still is on his bar tip. Where's the sleepy one? And that's it. He just says stuff. Cool. This is fun, trailer. Your character's becoming more of a character. Also, I should change. Is it a little one? Little ones? Oh, it's little one because you're by yourself. Anyway, who cares? Being a mage is such a hard life, right? Cool. Let's. What have we got so far? What have we got so far? Is this making sense? Is this making sense? Okay. They'll offer themselves to the earth country. Hi, Maximum Sharpie. How's the game making going? It's going. It's doing well actually. We've reached the point that I've wanted to reach, which is seeing if this mechanic where you get to choose what character you leave behind is yeah, just if I can make it work. I mean, it's not going to be difficult. It's just, yeah, I want to actually go through the steps and see what happens when I try to make it work. So far, we've made it that we can give up the cleric. The cleric's gone. Okay, so wait. Oh, I didn't change. Okay, so I need to change it so that we get teleported to the new map, new town. Over here. Also, let's change the tint screen. What if we do dark instead of night. Let's see if that's better. I also need to make it that when you enter this map, the tint goes away. So we'll go. So again, if we need to hide something that's changing, we need to tint the screen. Change it back to normal. Do it in one frame. Oops, forgot to add our fade out screen. And then fade in screen. So that way when we go inside the inn, it'll actually be well lit instead of the dark that it is outside. So there's that. So we've made it that it transfers there. All these doors are locked. That's the inn. Make it that when... Oh no, that's fine. Because we don't need to change that. Make it that you can't leave the inn once you go inside. Once you go into the inn. So we'll get rid of that. We don't need that. I could make an event there that's just like, oh, I'm not leaving, but the player can figure out that you just can't leave. And so you just need to go to sleep. And we want to go into the bar. We want that to also fade out, tint the screen to normal over one frame, and fade in the screen. Yeah. So cool. That'll work. Oh, we need the bar. We need the actual bar to go into. And we need this to take us to this bar. The bar, night 1. And we need that to take us there. This bar here. Okay. And we want to change this to Hubtown. Southeast Night 1. Okay. So we got that. Takes us to the bar. And once we leave the bar, we can get rid of that. Oops, no. Cancel. We want that. Get rid of that. Plonk that down. We want it to transfer to this one. And do that. And we want the tint to come back. So we want to fade out. Tint screen. Make it nighttime. No, dark. Do it for one frame. And fade in. All right. So we got all that. Yep, that's if we leave. Oh, also we wanted to activate the left the bar switch. So do we want? What do we want? Left the bar switch. Sorry guys, I'm running out of steam a little bit. I need to refresh. Switch. Left the bar on. Okay, so the left bar switch is on. So what we can do as well is if you try to go back in the door, after you've left the bar, who's going to talk to us? Why, it's our good friend, Bouncer TJ. Sorry, guys. That's it for tonight. And then the player will move backwards. Step backwards. No. Let's turn left. So you go in, but you'll turn to face okay. TJ will turn to face us first. Turn right. And we turn to look at you. I'm becoming the most interactive NPC. Legitimately. It's only appropriate. You're one of the founding fathers. Turn right, turn left. Sorry guys, that's it for tonight. And then you go back to facing the front. Turn down for what? And we'll make the player also turn down. Cool. And then that way you know that you can't do it no more. Okay, so and then yeah, so that's left the bar, switch, tints, and then you can't come back. Leave the bar. Right. Cool. And then we come into the bar and we have a switch here that if cleric removed, they ain't there no more. But if they are there, we have dialogue. So crazy time at the Earth Temple. Right? At least we are one step closer to the treasure. Right, that's all he's got to say. The mage removed, they're not there. So yeah, having this player remove switch is actually yeah, I didn't think about doing that, and that actually makes things so much easier for like for these cutscenes. Um, uh, cool, and then the mage. Oops, I don't want to do that. Whatever. How about that Earth Temple? She's just sleeping. Okay. And the rogue removed. Not there. And if they are, Earth Temple. And the rogue says, I'm sad there weren't more valuables in there. Too many drinks for the sleepy guy. Yeah. I'm sad there weren't more valuables in there. Cool. So they've all got their own special dialogue. And if they're not there, and if we've removed them, they're not going to appear there. Um, the bartender says, sounds like that. Sounds like that Earth Temple is quite the challenge. And again, we could have him say dialogue specific to the party member that's missing. Which, what happened there? Right. I mean, yeah, we can change that later, but let's say a similar thing. But yeah, he could give some insight. You know, he could talk a little bit about what they were like before you met them, when they first came into the bar. Could reveal again a bit more about their character. Um, so yeah, I really like this idea that I have of you giving up party members and it changing, affecting cutscenes and the kind of dialogue that appears. Um, and so while your game may not have something like that, you need to think about the kinds of cutscenes that you're going to have, and if you've got multiple party members, if that affects the way dialogue plays out. Obviously, it creates more work for you, but it can also increase replayability, knowing that there's completely different dialogue trees that have important lore or backstory that can only be accessed by playing with a certain character or something like that. So um, yeah, it's pretty cool thinking about it and actually putting it into practice as well and seeing the possibilities. So yeah, let's quickly before we test it again, let's because I think we've got everything working that we need, right? So now I just need to apply this cutscene for each choice. So we don't want, so this time the rogue None of you will go since the rest of you so afraid. And so it's a different movement route. We need it's for the rogue, and so they're standing here, so we need them to move left, left, and turn up. So left, left, turn up. Okay, let's just double check that. Yeah, left, left, turn up. And then we will still get the same flash, and instead of the cleric, it will be the rogue that will disappear. Instead of cleric removed, we want rogue removed to turn on, and we want to remove the rogue. And da 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 da. We don't need to change anything else. And then we need to do it for the mage. So the mage says, I'm tired of running around. I could use a break. And so again, we want it to be the mage. We need to change. So we want to go right, right, and turn up. Right, right, turn up. So again, make sure that you distinguish between those two. Moving will actually move you across a tile, and turning will just change the direction that your sprite is facing. So just make sure that you do that the correct way, because otherwise, yeah, you might soft lock your cutscenes. So turning up, the flash and the mage will disappear. Mage removed, switch. And so, guys, this would be a good place. Oh, not necessarily. But like, this is where I could leave comments, right? To say what's going on, to summarize what's happening. If I was to ever forget, but I don't think I need to in this particular instance. And then change party member, remove mage. And that's it. Cool. Let's try it out. Okay. We fight the boss. You seek to claim the sky treasure? Yes. Da, 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 da. And I keep forgetting to change this. Let's do that right now. So if we click on our choices, press the space bar. So we want to change the background to dim, and we want to put it in the middle. And that will be much better. Cool. Another thing we might do actually. So at the moment, I love the boss sound. Yeah. So at the moment, the default choice is the first choice. But again, if the player's mashing through, mashing the Z button, they'll make this choice. They could accidentally make this choice without realizing. So if we set this to none, then even if they're mashing through, when they get to this window, so you'll see, I'll show you in a second anyway. When we get to this window selection, even if you're still mashing, nothing will be selected, and you actually have to move the arrow cursors to select an option. And while nothing is selected, if you're pressing Z, the action button, it'll just give you like a sound because you don't have anything selected. So we'll see that in action. Check it out. Oh, forgot to show you. Wait, I'll say I'm not ready. Who will offer themselves? Do you hear that? But nothing's selected. So that way, if they're mashing, they don't accidentally make a choice. An important choice here. So who will offer themselves to the Earth Temple? Let's go with the rogue. I'll go since the rest of you are so afraid. The offering is sufficient. Blah blah blah. Get the water gem. Okay, this looks more like nighttime. Also, we have the nighttime sounds. So we need to test the doors. They're closed. The sound effect is actually good. I think a drink would do me good. We need to talk about what's happened. Let's go to the bar. See? No dialogue came from the rogue because the rogue isn't with us. Let's test the guard. Castle's off limits at night. Okay. Oh, I need to apply the same nighttime sound effect here as well. Oh, hey TJ, what's up, my bro? Hello, little one. Wait, he's supposed to say something different. Oh, I don't think I... Oops, I should have saved. And we got to go through that again. This isn't transferring to the right map. Also, we don't need that. Uptown night. Okay. And we'll have that. Need Hubtown night. Play. Wait, what was the settings that I had here? TJ seems pretty stubborn. So 25 at 100%. Night. Cool. And that is that. Okay. Let's try that again. Ugh. Okay, let's save. Let's get rid of the mage this time. I'm tired of running around. I could use a break. Here, everything's closed. Can't talk to the rock. He's sleeping. Oh wait, let's oh no. I see, this is the thing. You make all these changes and then there'll just be one little event that you forget to change. That's the problem with just copying and pasting maps, is you won't always remember to change and flip everything over. You'll leave artifacts over. So cool. There's that. Okay. Now we should be good. Let's go the cleric. Alright. What do they say? I'm tired, but also really need a drink. I think a drink would do me good. Okay. If we go back, it's the same. Cool. And alright, TJ, what do you got for us? So this guy's non-interactable. He's blocking the way. Your party has gotten smaller. Where's your healer? I like that guy. I just keep saying that. Let me go into the bar. Oh, so I need to make it that... See? I need to make it that the player followers are turned off when we go in there, so we don't have this problem. Let's talk to the Sky, sounds like that Earth Temple was quite the challenge. Because I copied the text over. Trailer, you're a shapeshifter. Okay. How about that Earth Temple? Sleeping. Earth Temple? I'm sad there weren't more valuables in there. Then we leave. We try to go back. Sorry guys, that's it for tonight. Yeah. Nice. You're everywhere. I should just make every single NPC and player character just your character. It's like that John Malkovich movie. And then the inn. Okay, we go in. We've got the inn. Wait, why is he... Where's the... Oh, I didn't make it transfer to the right inn. Okay. Okay. Wrong inn. We want the inn for the night. The night inn. Okay. Now, what was something I also wanted to change? We need to fix up the bartender. Get rid of this ugly mug. Change it all to the bartender. Okay. Bullies. And we need to make it that the player followers turn off. So, chuck it in here. Change player followers. Off. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's try again. Let's do the rogue so we can hear TJ's little quip about the bar tab. Cool. So I might make it that you... I don't know. I think I don't think anything. My brain overloaded. Yeah, so originally what I wanted to do was that you didn't come straight to the hub town. You would actually be kicked out to the world map, and then you would travel back to the hub town. But I don't really see much purpose in that. But I feel like there needs to be like a text box or something that says, you know, you journeyed back to... Because it just... Like, just it fading to black and you just appearing back in the hub town. Like, I feel like there needs to be something that acknowledges that time in between. I don't know. Like, it doesn't... Like, it feels incomplete. Alright, what do you got to say? Your party's gotten smaller. Hey, where's your rogue? He still always on his bar tab. Ellipses. Oh. Another thing I need to fix is I need to make it so that the party followers turn back on when I leave. But look, it's different now. There's no... Look, he's the rogue. She's gone, the rogue. We talk to these guys. They give us some deep insight into their backstory. Hey, where's your rogue? Still knows on his bar tab. Oh. Sorry guys, that's it for tonight. Party's getting small. Hey, where's your rogue? Nice. Oh yeah, see? So I have no party followers, so I need to fix that. But let's make sure this all works still. We go into the inn. Welcome to my inn. You look like you've had a rough day. Your stay is on me. I'm not ready yet. Okay, let me know when you are. And so we could go and again talk to our party members before they go to bed. They'll just be standing, they'll be in their rooms. Which will seem a little weird because Well, we could do it right now, actually. We'll just make sure this works. So when we sleep here, it'll teleport us back to the normal inn, which will then connect us back to all the normal daytime maps. So now it's daytime. We can interact with our NPCs again. We've got Horse Knight over here. Oh. You see a moonwalk just then? What happens when we... There should be no one in the bar. DJ. Hello, little one. Yeah, no one's in the bar. Cool. All right. So what do we want to do? Who was that? Save your game, please. Thank you, trailer. Didn't want to lose all that TJ progress. Such progress. Yeah. Cool. So what did I want to do? We need to turn the followers back on. So when we fade out, left the bar on. Let's change player followers back to on. Okay. And then guess what? We're going to turn the player followers back off. We're going to turn the player followers back off. Off. And grab our friends. And they've all got their setting where if they're and look, we can make her already lying down. Where's her sprite? Is that her? Not the same hair. Is that her? Which no, that's a different character. No, it's Blue Hat. Where is it? Oh, there. Cool. So we can have her laying down on the bed. We'll make a direction fix so she doesn't move around. And she's just always sleeping. She's already sleeping. And we'll make him face that way. And yeah, we keep you facing that way. And we switch the dialogue around. We'll have very sleepless. I don't know if I'll be able to sleep tonight. So he's trying to get serious, and this idiot's just like, have you tried counting sheep? Works for me. He's just like ellipses. And our rogue says, oh, why did I delete that? Our rogue says, do you think they'd notice if I stole that painting? Where would you even hide it? I have my ways. All right. Some fun little bits of dialogue there for our characters. Again, this is really just placeholder stuff, just playing around. Some of it might stick around, but yeah, just so I can have some fun while I'm playtesting. Cool. So we've done that. We then need to make it so that after we do this, we need the player followers back on, and that should be sufficient. Cool. Let's have a look. Let's have a squeeze. All right, who's going this time? The mage? Oh, but we don't get to see her lying on the bed. Cool. Go to the bar. Let's go to the bar. DJ, what you gotta say, my friend? Where's the sleepy one? Beautiful. Look at that. Earth Temple? I'm said there weren't more valuables. What does Cleric say? Crazy time in the Earth Temple, right? At least we are one step closer to the treasure. Excellent. We've got our party back. Sorry, guys. And we go into the inn. And yeah, now they're waiting by the bed. Do you think they notice if I stole their painting? Where would you even hide it? I have my ways. I don't know if I'll be able to sleep tonight. We try cutting sheep. Works for me. Then we sleep. We're on a different map where they're not even there. We've got our party, and we're all healed. We're ready to go. Guys, this is exciting. This is exciting. We're the the idea of the game is coming together. So yeah, we've got that. Now we need to yeah, we need to I should have saved. That's all right. Let's make our water temple. So, okay. The water temple. We need to actually talk to the king to be able to get the boat. So this boat shouldn't actually be here yet. Right? And yeah, we need the boat to be able to reach the water temple because we otherwise can't. So we need to go. So maybe after we sleep, uh, uh, yeah, after we sleep, we've got we've got we should go and see the king to say on our progress. Okay, so we've got that direction. We know we need to go see the king. So we go to the king. Where's the castle? the main hall. Castle. Castle main hall. Okay. So now we have a new switch. We want a new event page. And it will be the Earth boss defeated switch, right? We could do left the bar as well. We could use that as a marker of progress, but we can just do Earth boss defeated, right? Because that just logically is just like, cool. We beat the boss, so the king, we're letting the king know about it. So so we say we have conquered the Earth Temple. Yes. I can see your party is smaller. The road ahead will only get more difficult. To gain access to the water temple, you will need a ship. I don't have one. I know. I was about to say I will give one to use. Okay, cool. Thanks. Again, placeholder dialogue, guys. So I could, if I want to keep reusing the, oh no, that won't work. That won't work. You'll need a ship. I don't have one, and I was about to say I will give you one to use. Okay, cool. Thanks. How do I... set vehicle location. Cool. Boat. We want the ship. And we want it to appear on the world map over there. It appears here, right by the dock, and then you gotta loop around. Yeah, that's cool. Let's do that. That makes more sense. Yeah. Okay, cool, thanks. And he's like, I take it you have the water gem as well. Yes. Not really necessary dialogue, but it's okay. Yes. Still luck on your quest. Did I just... Yeah, I didn't. Okay. Best of luck on your quest. Let's save. And then we want a self switch. We're gonna run out. self switches with self switch B. And we'll have self switch B on. Use one of my ships to gain access to the water temple. It will be by the dock. Okay, and we don't need those. Cool. So that will give us that, and then that will allow us to access the water temple. Now let's grab this guy and chuck it over there into the water temple. And we'll change that in a moment. So let's make a map, new. It's going to be outside because it's the outside of the temple. Water temple entry. So water temple. No. Time for the maze. Amazing. Oh wait, we want it to be silent. Battle back. Water. 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 No real water. We do that. There's some water. That sky. Is it really not just a straight up water background? A bit disappointing. Alright, so I'll have to do that for now. Cool. So, the water temple. Oh, there's not deep water? Is there not deep water? This isn't going to do what I wanted it to do. We got water. I'll just make the oh. Ah. And, oh, and then like that. Okay. So, yeah, no, that's fine. I want to make some changes to the tile set. I want to make it so that you can actually walk on this water here. You can walk on water. Okay. And yeah. And then we can get some cool looking water features. And here's a fun thing. So you can let's do waterfall. That is a very appealing blue color. Like actually, which blue? Um. So if you want waterfalls with like an animation down the bottom, of the water flowing, then what is it? It's this one here. So you can use this right here. Turn stepping on and direction fix, and it will, yeah, play a little water falling animation. So it will look cool. The light blue. Yeah, it's nice. Cool. So we've got. I don't know if this water is animated. We'll see when we come here. So let's do this. We got our map now. Water temple entry down there. Okay. And we can change that, put that there. Leave the water temple. Make that back on the world map. Okay, out there. Now, we need to make it that it puts us on the boat when we leave. Maybe what I'll do. Anyway, let's do that first. Let's make it so that on the world map there's one little tile here of land. Yep. Sure, that'll do. Bodie McBoatface, right? Yeah, so that way, because I don't know what would happen if you use the boat and enter this tile, whether it would then transport the boat here and you'd still be in the boat, or whether it would just make you step off the boat. I'm not sure. I haven't made a game yet that's had to use any of the in-game vehicles. So, yeah. Anyway, the we got that there. Yeah, so that's fine now. Okay. So, oops. So that takes you back to the world map. We'll paste that. We want a door. Door, door, door. Door, 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 door. Door, 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 door. Door, 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 door. Okay. We got our door there. We'll borrow the door from The Earth Temple. And we'll say Water Temple door. We don't need that page. Technically, we don't need this condition of the water gem because there's no way you can access the water temple without the water gem anyway. You will have the water gem, that's the only way. But let's just have that switch on. So we already know how it works. You hold the gem towards the door. Show animation. Not on the waterfall. Earth Temple door. Want the flash. We don't need the long cutscene again. Wait 30 frames. Big screen. Yep, goes up. Don't need to wait. Good way. Good way to beat. We're stepping in. And that moves, and then that will transfer us. So we need to make our first room. So still switch A. We'll play this. And that's fine. Maybe not 60 frames, 30. And yeah. So. Let's hit OK. What is happening? What is happening? We need a new map. We're doing a dungeon. We're doing water temple, ground floor. Same thing over here. No looping. That's fine. Just do that. Maybe we'll have the grip. Cool. Dripping in the background because it's a water temple. We already had that battle back. Okay. Let's go back here. I do actually want to change the background sound. See. Wait, what did I do? Where's that water? Anyway, we'll see. So we want to do a dungeon. Generate a dungeon. Maze. With wide passages. What do we want the inside to look like? Like that? Whoa. That was terrible. Okay, maybe not wide passages. So amazing. Damn. Wow. What a crazy maze. This is a very robust maze editor. Maybe, look, it's, again, placeholder. There shouldn't be margins though. I don't want margins. Wow, with margins is even worse. Um. Anyway, I don't want that. I actually want like that. Maybe that. Oh, it looks like water. Kind of cool. Anyway, we won't do a maze. We'll just do placeholder right now. So bada bing, bada boom. But I want it to be water. But this is shallower water. Maybe it is a little bit of a maze. Okay, so let's look at the tile set. So we've got the dungeon tile set, and we've got this water. So I want to say that you can walk on that type of water. Doesn't look as cool as I thought it was going to. But it's okay, I guess. Because what happens if I do this? Problem is there's not a shallow version of this. Oh, what about that? Ooh. Hmm. Oh, look, we've got waterfalls again. Oops. Got waterfalls. 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 Oh, look, we can add some decorations. Oh, there's some grass. Some watery grass. Might have to make your own tile. Potentially, but water tiles are also going to be the most difficult. Cool. So we got our waterfalls. Let's grab our waterfall event tile from out here. Chuck it down there. All right. Yeah, so I made it so you can walk on this water, but not the deep water. In my mind, that seemed interesting. What's some objects we can put on the water? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Anyway, that's fine. The water temple's kind of boring. But again, placeholder, placeholder, placeholder. So we've got this going to the water temple. Okay. And we've got this going to the water temple. Okay. And I want leave the water temple. Oh. there. All right. Let's just see how that looks. Oh, geez, all the way back here. I'm gonna play through quick. Okay, bye, cleric. We don't need a healer. Put the water gem. Gotta go to the bar. Leave the bar. We don't have to talk to everyone. Oh, look, she's sleeping. I should actually put her on this tile, right up there. Okay, so we've slept, and then it should say, "Let's go see the king." Go and see the king. Cool. So if we don't go and see the king, oh, why is the ship there? What? I deleted it. The hell? What? Okay. Why is the ship there? I deleted it. Why is the ship there? Uh, hmm. So, no. Why is the ship there? Because it's there from, it isn't changed, even though I've saved. Wait, why isn't it updated? It should update it still. What? Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because... So when we actually play the game, that shouldn't be there. We play it from the beginning. So we need to go to the king. We've conquered the Earth Temple. Yes, I can see your party is smaller. The road ahead will only get more difficult. To gain access to the Water Temple, you will need a ship. I don't have one. I know, I was about to say I will give you one to use. Okay, cool, thanks. I take it you have the water gem as well? Yes. Best of luck on your quest. Talk to him again. He says, yep, use one of my ships to gain access to the Water Temple. It will be by the bell. Best of luck on your quest. The ship is also stubborn. So many stubborn characters in this game. Cool, and there's the ship, and it's gone from there. And we jump aboard. Oh, and because I have the map currently looping, we can just do that. Wait, no. Okay, so that's good. So the ship is can I? I can hook that straight onto the. But now I can't get back on the ship. Okay, so that's bad. We need to fix that. So the way we prevent that is do I maybe just put a little bit more but then they could come from behind as well. I don't like this though. I don't want it to look like this. Do I put... Oh, maybe I do that. Put spiky rocks around. So you can't move over there. And where's the tower? Here it is. Slap that on Okay. Maybe we... Maybe do it that. Make it a bit more obvious. It's blocked off. So another way I could have dealt with this is I could have made it so that the event, like, through nah, I don't want to talk about it. It's not a great way to do it. This is fine, using the map to do this. You could use conditional branches to say if approach from the left, don't do anything. If approach from the right, to block it. Siren mini boss. Yeah, maybe there'll be like a hidden boss out in the ocean. We could do that. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, we gotta go talk to the king. I should make it that the king has a comment here, depending on which party member you've let go of. You know, he'd be like, "Oh, you gave up your healer. That's a risky move," or something like, you know, or like the rogue. He could have dealt a lot of damage, or yeah. I think I really got to play into the gimmick. You know, make it that at every turn you get more unique dialogue, depending on which characters you've kept and which ones you've got rid of. And I was about to say, we'll give you one, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Let's leave. Save. Oh. Okay. Maybe I'll make it when you leave, it pops you like here. We jump on the boat. Now we can't get in this way. I can't hop off the boat. Yeah. So the only way I can get there is by jumping on here, and then we walk on. So then when I leave, the boat's right there, and it's not stuck, and yada yada. Beautiful. Cool. We're walking on the water. This is cool. And yeah, see? So look at the waterfall. Although it's up here instead of down here, which kind of sucks. The sea sound effects in the background helps sell the area though. You hold the gem towards the door. Oh, that screen shake goes for too long. Cool. We're in the... Oh, look, it's a maze. Oh, where do I go? It's so confusing. Ooh, oh, I've made it that my path is blocked, so I can't actually... But that's fine because I haven't created the next section anyway. But just a tip for you guys. The dripping sand is perfect. Yeah. I mean, there will be... I've already been playing around a little bit with a potential tune for the water temple. Been mucking around in beatbox. Oh, you know what? I'll play it for you. Why not? Get some feedback on it. Is this it? So I haven't done anything more with this, right? This is just... Can you even hear that? Why is it so quiet? Oh. But yeah, so that's a little loop that I've done so far. I'm obviously want to build more of the song, but I was just more figuring out how I wanted the instrument to sound. But this is beatbox, so this is the way that I'm going to be creating the music tracks for the game. It's completely free and it runs completely in your browser. There are drawbacks to that, but none that I've really encountered except for maybe like sort of saving your progress. can be a bit interesting, but there is a way, like, yeah, but it's crazy. It like creates a URL based off of the tune that you're making. And so even if you just change one thing, it completely changes the URL. And that's how it is able to keep track of your songs. But yeah, people have made crazy, crazy songs using this tool. So yeah, shout out to Beatbox and the devs behind it. It's really cool. But yeah, so I'm going for like a beep 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 like an echoey. I was trying to figure out a more like because that's kind of got like a creepy vibe to it. I was trying to try to make an instrument that sounded more like the Donkey Kong country water level type vibe, because I thought that would be really cool, but I didn't quite figure it out, but I stumbled across that. But yeah, anyway, sorry guys, a tip. If you're playtesting your game, while you're playtesting, you're in like a dev mode. If you hold down control, you can walk through any tile. So it's handy if you're playtesting and you want to just get around certain things. I mean, obviously it can sequence break your game and mess up like switches and triggers and things. So it's, so think about that when you are using it to speed ahead to other sections of your game. Because yeah, depending on how tightly you've got things set up, uh, you know, you might not be able to activate the things you need, which is why as well. Is there a menu? Is there a debug menu? I don't think I've ever used it, but I think there is a menu you can bring up while you're playing to activate any switches that you have. I'll have to double check that. But anyway, there we go. We've got our water temple. And yeah, I think we're gonna call it there. It's 10 o'clock. It's been a long stream, guys. But productive one. This was a lot of fun. Um, this is yeah, we made a bunch of progress, and it was really cool to see how this party member sacrifice thing is going to work. Um, 5 more points. Don't do me like this. Have a nice day, night, everyone. Thanks, Little Big Poker. Thanks for coming along. Um, well, it's all right, Trail. I'll be yapping for a little bit. Wait, is this to get the boss name? Are you gonna have 15,000? Let me just change. I could just change the cost of it to be 14,995. Yes. Okay. Maybe I should just end the stream now. And you'll have to wait. You'll have to wait till Thursday. Got to keep you coming back for more. But yeah, we were able to flesh out, well, not flesh out, but like see the basic skeleton of the mechanics that I want in this game. Need 5k or so more for the house. Keep saving. Little Big Poker. Wait, how much is the house? 7,500. So you've got 2.5. So I think, yeah, it's at a pretty good rate. You'll get there. You'll get there. I've also added, well, yeah, I don't know if you're there before at the start. I added a shack. 2.4k. Nice. Yeah, I added a shack option. It's 15k, but it's also because there's only one. and basically there'll be like a little shack. I mean, I can even drop it in now. There's going to be a little shack on the map, maybe tucked over here in the corner. And your NPC can live there, and your NPC will give the player a special item if they visit your shack. So it's a little bit of enticement. Ooh. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But if you buy a house, then you can't have the shack. Cool. Oh, we didn't add any more NPCs today. I shouldn't have spent points reminding you to save. I know, I wasn't gonna say it, but I was like, I knew that would come to bite you. Dang, now I gotta save for a shack. Yeah. Cool. Sorry, I should stop flicking between the maps. That's probably really annoying for you guys. It's a definitely a habit that I have. I'm a clicker. I like to click. So let's save. I need to back up. Oh, oh, did it happen? Boss named after you. Trailer jury. Yes. Oh, that reminds me. I need to. You got it. You got it. That reminds me. I need to start. I need to leave in the notes. Who it was named by? Named by Crocodile. Crocodile music. Beautiful stuff. Well, we don't have any bosses yet, but when we do, I mean, you can tell me now. So we've got the earth temple, we got the water temple, we got the fire temple, and then there's the sky temple. Maybe I won't let you name the sky temple boss, because that's like the final boss. But you have your pick of the earth temple, the water temple, or the fire temple. Happy that it wasn't the 50k points. Yeah, yeah, it was definitely. I mean, you would have got there, because with how long this stream series is going to go on, as long as you keep watching. Yeah, well, um, so trailer, if you do buy a house, if you happen to buy a house, secret boss under the bar, definitely fire. That's the thing. I don't know if I want to get into secret bosses, because I don't even know if I'm good at designing bosses, right? Like, I haven't had a whole lot of experience doing that. I've made like one boss for my game Bombra, because you literally face off against one boss, and he's like a multi-piece boss. So like you have to attack the different body parts, but like it wasn't a very deeply thought out encounter, because again it was for a game jam. But the concept was cool. Secret boss under the bar. So I don't know. Well, look, we'll sit on it for now. Trailer. We don't have to apply the name yet. Oh, definitely fire. You said definitely fire. I didn't read that. Okay. Well, yeah. Either if we do end up doing a secret boss, we can name it Trailer Jury. But otherwise, we'll name the Fire Temple boss after you. I feel like I should make a note of that somewhere. Boss names: Earth, Water, Fire, Sky. It's pretty epic. Yay, now I can relax. I like the idea that you're very intensely watching my stream. And now you're just gonna get back and relax. I mostly wanted to beat Coco to it, yeah. Coco Dio. I don't know if that would have been a cool fire boss name. That kind of works for the Earth Temple, I reckon. Or maybe Water. Alright, cool. So we've saved that. Keep track of that. Well, I guess another thing I wanted to show off, guys, is so I've talked about how I want to eventually you know, do, hypothetically speaking, if we do secret bosses, could I have mine in the shack if I get enough points? To name the boss. If you get the naming boss points, we could do. I mean, look, anything's possible. It's my game. I can make it. And you know, you don't even have to be a good secret boss. You could have like 100 HP, but you're just secret. You know, nobody ever said you were a good boss or a hard boss. You're just a secret boss. So yeah, that's 30k points. Yeah, maybe that's what I should do, is just make a channel point reward for secret boss. But I think I want to make it much higher, because the secret boss is just like extra work that I don't necessarily want to do, because I am trying to keep things simple, as I've said. But yeah, look, these are some sketches that I've been doing at work. I'm just playing around with the ideas of what I want the characters to look like when I do my own art for them in the Steam release. So they're not going to look like this now for the itch version, but I was playing around with like what the knight could look like. I was trying to do like simple like shapes, keep the look of the characters simple. And then I don't know, I just kind of wasn't really getting it to look the way I wanted. And then I was like, what if I draw them a bit more real? And then I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's taking me so long to get to 15k, or at least it feels like it took a long time. Yeah. Well, because it's taken longer now because your subs expired, right? Not that I'm saying you need to sub, but but that gift sub that Coco gave you expired, so you don't earn points as quickly anymore. But yeah, I'm excited to get into what the characters are actually going to look like when I do the full game. That definitely helped. Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's wrap it up, guys. Thank you everyone for coming. Really appreciate you. Those that were in the chat, Little Big Poker, Trailer Jury, Coco, Harlequin dropped by as well. Appreciate you all. Big shout out to lurkers as well. Really appreciate your presence. Thank you for coming, and I hope to see you on Thursday. I can spend my points now. Yeah, you can just go crazy. You can spam the, because I haven't put a limit on it. You can just spam the save your game alert and really annoy everyone on the stream. It'd be really good. Yeah, thank you everyone for coming. Appreciate your support. Hopefully we learned some things today. I am starting to get less tutorially at this point, just because we're starting to, we've been laying down a lot of those foundations, and so we're starting to move into that territory where I am just starting to really just quickly map things out. So I apologize for that if you've really been looking for more of a tutorial. Yeah, this stream is like a weird tutorial thing. I'm not, it's more of a learn as we go, learn with me kind of thing. But yeah, have a good night. Have a great week. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.